I heard a news, or I've watched a news that is really trending, that someone, an African American or somewhere, diaspora,
Yeah,
Canadian
really?
or anybody of that sort was with a gun in a club.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
And they shot
was in
that.
the club.
Are you serious? I have looked that up. I'm sorry, I didn't see that news because I don't be in the club popping bottles like that.
African Americans or the diaspora coming back
Yeah.
to Ghana. And so, what are some of the things that you wish they shouldn't bring to Ghana?
Yeah. And I think it's the behavior and the entitlement. They shouldn't bring that here. They should come with more of an open mind, and they should come with more of an open mind and be more, and to think more outside of it. Don't the exact life that you live in New York. And if you have that life, stay in New York. But if you're coming here, come here to learn, be open, be affirming, be empowering to the culture. And I think that sometimes gets missing. It gets missing. And just the fact that you just said somebody had a gun in a club, that's what happens in New York. That's a New York type thing. People get shut up in a club, right? And things like that. Is that going to happen in Ghana, which is a peaceful place?
Yeah.
That's just something that Ghana is supposed to be one of the most peaceful places to be able to travel, where you're safe and you feel safer. But is it safe if we're bringing those same dynamics here?
Yeah.
It's a question. Like, why are we bringing the same dynamics that we're running away from in our different countries to bring it here to kind of, and you know, the community in Ghana, people in Ghana love Western culture. They're going to emulate and be part of what you're bringing. They're going to learn. This is learned behavior. What you bring is what they're going to learn. People are going to take from what you're giving them, the energy that you're giving, the things that you're giving. Like, are you bringing, if you're bringing that same negative energy, you bringing that same destructive energy, is that kind of clockwise to what we're doing to come and do the Diaspora return and to be empowered as a collective?
Do you think Ghanaians are tired of the diaspora not being able to understand the culture, and they make it look like they're being forced to do some certain things?
Yeah. I think that some of the Ghanaians are happy about it because, you know, they can find a way to jump. People are connecting. I don't think the Ghanaians are opposed to it. I know they're opposed to the inflation that the diasporans bring, because can you believe you can buy a home in Ghana for $1 million?
Okay, so let's talk about the programs.
Yes.
That programs, like events that they charge more than.
Wow. I was very stunned at the price for Afro.
Why?
$500 for 2 days. They don't want Ghanaians there, do they? Do they really want Ghanaians?
I don't think it's mainly for Ghanaians. I don't think so.
But I'm just saying, with those price points,
the main target is
so do we look? So do we look like people that people should take advantage of? It's not a Beyonce concert. You can even get a $200 or $100, $250. Like, come on. I mean, like, that to me, the prices are getting insane, and that's what a lot of events, not just African, a lot of events now it feels like they're taking advantage of the diaspora. So that becomes another question, because you know that sometimes we might be a little bit more buoyant, have a little bit more resources, so now you want to take advantage, and that's not fair. Like, I thought it was about building community, building us together. So even Shatta Wale had a concert last year. He charged 50 CDs. Shatta Wale is one of the biggest stars in Ghana. One of the biggest. Actually, he's my favorite. One of the biggest artists in Ghana, and he charged 50 CDs. He could have charged 250. People will pay.
Yeah, people will pay.
But he thought about the community, the people on the ground, that movement, you know?
Yeah.
So we never start thinking about the people, like, and what's realistic, because the average salary in Ghana is 1,000 Ghana cedis, and that's on the high. There are people making 600 CDs, 500 CDs, 400 CDs for a month. So imagine, do you know what 1,000 Ghana cedis is? It's maybe $89 and $90 a month. And diasporans are coming here spending $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 on a trip to Ghana. So think about that comparative to the person, and this is an average median salary. And these people have to pay rent 2 years in advance. 2 years in advance. They would have to borrow, steal, cheat, or whatever to pay 2 years in advance rent. Even us in America do not pay 2 years in advance. We pay monthly. So we pay monthly. Their phone bills, they have to pay per use. So they put more money on their phones than we do monthly. When you think about, you know, the way that it's, you know, diverting stuff or whatever, and that it's not fair, because when an average Ghanaian is making $90, $80 a month, like, you can't even compare it to what they spend, what the diasporans spend in 1 week of travel or 2 weeks of travel. Not that you should not have your luxury travel. I give that to you. You can do whatever you want, but be cognitive of what the spending that you're pushing into the system is doing to the Ghanaians on the ground.
But what do you think we can do best to bridge the gap together? because it's not just about just the December this year. What are some of the things that you think we can, bridge together apart from this dirty December that they call?
I think people need to also, I've seen that now. People are starting to travel to Ghana different times of the month.
Different time of the month.
And I think that traveling to Ghana different times of the month and traveling outside of Accra and seeing that there's Tamale, there's so many places that people have never even been to or seen.
Where have you been to?
Me, I've been to Kumasi. I've been to Eastern Region, Volta Region. My brother here, Ewe, which is the Volta Region. I've been to Cape Coast, Elmina. Abri, I haven't been to Somalia. I want to go to Somalia. I've been to Takoradi, yes. Zalezu, I've been, yes.
Wow, you're rocking, right?
Yes, I've been to quite a few parts of Ghana.
That's great.
And it's so beautiful, and even the beaches are different when you leave Accra. Accra is literally a microcosm. When you go to the other parts, you would see that none of the money that's coming into Ghana is really going to those parts. But sometimes maybe you don't want to spoil. When they hear your accent, the price is doubled, tripled.
Wow.
Okay, like literally. So I think sometimes it's double-edged. There's some people that do want to learn and connect with the diaspora, and there's some people that just want to make money. Period. Or be a part of that mix, or just party, or just find a booth for the night. Culture shock.
You go back and forth. So what are some of the culture shocks so far?
I think because I was born in Africa, I don't have any culture shock when it comes to stuff that comes. I don't have any culture shock. I have used outhouses. My grandparents had an outhouse where there was a hole on the floor. We've done everything. Is literally I've kind of been through, so it wouldn't be a culture shock for me. I eat local food. I don't really eat like when I'm here. I'm not eating KFC. I'm not eating McDonald's. I'm not eating all of those kind of foods. I'm eating my local Ghanaian food. My culture shock is the prices Oh, did I take it back there? Go ahead. No?
You and your pricing. There's a video that's also circulating like Africans don't like African Americans.
Yes, I did a video about that too.
Do African Americans like Africans?
Yeah, I think that
in that they said this. Yes. So I want to reverse it. Yes. How is it for you? Because you are there and you come back and forth. So can you tell us something about it?
I think that there's always, like me growing up in America, when I was growing up in America, there definitely was like isms. They would call me bushwhackers, they'll call me African booty scratcher, they will call me, you came here on a banana boat and stuff like that. You climb trees and where you're from. But these are narratives that are created by white people, right?
Okay.
To make sure that we're not connected. If we we really see that we are the same and get together, our power is amazing, because the spending power of the black spending power is more than any other racial breakdown, right? Wow. So literally, I think that's a narrative that's been created and a narrative that we need to debunk. And I think, of course, with people traveling more to Africa now and feeling comfortable with Africa, they can see this is nothing but a negative stereotype that was created. They don't want us to be together. They want us to be separated. Just like the poorer white people, they don't want them to mix with us, so they make them feel superior to us.
So it's lack of education that made them think Africans, we hate them.
We hate them, or that we're backwards, or that we don't have toilets in the house.
What about, do they also like us?
Of course. I think that of course they want to know, they want to learn more, and you know what I'm saying. I think that's happening. I think that could be a very positive thing for, like we said about Ghana. Ghana is literally opening the gateway for people to really explore Africa, because people come to Ghana and they want to go to Tanzania, they want to go to different African countries. So it's opening up travel, because a lot of them never used to come to Africa. They were scared of coming to Africa. It was mostly the Pan-Africans that came. Go ahead.
So what message would you like to tell someone who is out there, who is a diaspora, who is African American, who is a Caribbean, who is a diaspora all over the world? You understand? What message or what kind of history will you tackle as ourselves for them to know that home is home, African is their home? What is the message and what is the history in it for them to get? I always say this to people when they're coming to Africa, that especially people that are in diaspora, the fact that knowing your history, knowing where you come from, is going to really create your next steps in life and show you the greatness of where you came from, no matter what. Because I know we were picked up and dropped off in different countries, like divided, but coming here resets your history. I can remember the first time I walked into Cape Coast Castle, Mina Castle. I swear, Epic, I don't think I left the same person that entered. Wow.
Many years ago, when I entered, and my life pivoted, and I realized the greatness that I have in myself that is beyond just being confined to doing what is status quo. I push that gamut, and I think that that strength and that power of knowing the pain and also the history, and that these people went through all of this and we are here today, that means they're living through us. So I think knowing your history, knowing your culture, and knowing how rich it is, like, it's something that is second to none. Wearing our clothing, being who we are, being unapologetically black. I think people need to realize that we are some of the greatest people in the world, and coming to Africa and learning more about Africa really gives you those things. Because when I go to Europe, I don't get culture like when I come to Africa. I see buildings, beautiful. I see buildings, and how many buildings would I see? No. I want to see history. I want to see culture, and I see that when I come to Africa.
Will you ever take someone who is a vice president as a vice president or a spokesperson?
No.
Why?
In Africa?
In Africa.
I don't. I just think that we need to see ourselves in leadership, so that our young people know that it's possible for them to be leaders, and they're more than enough qualified and brilliant people that are African in the African diaspora that can co-lead with me and make sure that we move this gamut forward. I don't mind having allies and people people that are part of, like, maybe the building, but I just know that the front-facing people have to look like me.
Why is it so important that the front line faces have to look like you?
You have to tap into your people. You have to tap in, and understand that sometimes we can disappoint each other. Reality, as we can disappoint each other sometimes, right? But there are people that are capable and able to showcase. And one thing we need to do is empower our youth, because the youth are looking at us. Our future leaders, when we are gone from this world, need to see that they're able to lead the charge, and they're able to do what you're doing. And I think that it's a disservice when you don't have people that look like us doing what we need to do.
Will you ever, someone who has taken something from you, will you go back and let the person come back to be your friend? Someone who is a thief.
Oh, of course not. You're not supposed to let it. If say once bitten, twice shy, right? So you're bitten me. It's like you playing with a snake. Why would you allow a snake to come back in there to eat you? The snake eats their own. So what do you think they're going to do to you? So I think that it's not to villainize people that are of not our skin tone or our whatever, because we have a lot of allies. We appreciate them. We appreciate that. But when it comes to leadership, and it comes to strong leadership, we need our strong black leadership.
Yeah, that is true. Period. They make it in the lighting like they are helping us, but they are destroying us.
They're destroying us. And it seems like Africa keeps on getting colonized. We have the first colonization, second colonization, now it's the third colonization. How many times are they going to colonize? And I don't want to even go into this space, because you told me about, like, our leaders need to really become very steadfast on the fact that, instead of you letting somebody to come and build an industry here and not hire 75% Ghanaians, and they can do whatever they want and bring their people in, that's a problem. It's a problem when we don't show them that we can put our foot down, do what we need to do, because we literally are the ones that have the resources. Don't forget that. It's take. Literally, Africa feeds the world. I'll say this again. I've said this again and over and over. Africa feeds the world. All of the natural resources of Africa is what makes up what the world is. In our cell phones is from Africa. All of gold, diamond, cocoa, everything is from Africa. So how are we some of the poorest countries in the world, and we have the resources to feed the world?
Thank you so much for joining Epic Awards. It was so nice to be nice. Thank you for joining. And what's your social media handle?
Social media handle is Glitterati ENT. That's GLITTERATIENT. And then find me on all platforms.
All platforms. She is also on YouTube. Please go and subscribe to her YouTube channel. She's doing amazing. She's feeding a whole lot of people in Africa and across globally as well. And I really want to say a very big thank you for joining Epic Awards. It's always a pleasure, having you. And you always make it possible.
Thank you for keeping this conversation going, Epic, because somebody has to do it. If you don't keep this conversation going, and being able for even Ghanaians to watching your show to see how diasporans are thinking, and then Ghanaians that are part of your show and then diasporans get to see how they're thinking. I think that we need to continue the conversation no matter what, because we are always learning. We're always learning. If you stop learning, that's not life. Peace out.